In this tutorial, we will discuss about create the new groups and users, set secure Linux to permissive, creating grid and Oracle directory. Now we will follow the step 8, create the new groups and users. So let's go to the putty to create these groups. Here we will create, we install asmadmin, asmdba, asmoper, dba, oper. So I just want to copy this one, and here we can see the two lines to create another user, and there change and there to change their password. So first we need to create the group. So first I just checking the possible groups. So now we will execute the commands. Create the group. Here we can see the we installed asmadmin, asmdba, asmoper, dba oper. So now we check the created groups. So groups are not available right now here. Just close this window. Here we can see, if I try to add oinstall again, we can see the group is already exist. Now we will create a user grid, and here add user add -u and group id, user id actually, then primary group or install, then minus is secondary group, dba asm admin. So here is dba asm oper grid. Here the grid is user, and these are secondary group, and this is primary group or install. So this is the id for this user. So if I execute this snippet, our user grid created successfully. Now we will create another user, add user. Here the user will be created for Oracle, and here the primary group or install and the secondary groups are dba asm admin, asmdba oper. So if I execute this snippet, our user created will be created. Both two user created with specified groups. Here we will change the password for grid. Here the password changed. I need to put the new password and retype password, and after then we will change the create the password for Oracle user. So just password Oracle, and then new password Oracle, and then retype password Oracle. So our password changed for these two user grid and Oracle. After creating group and user, we will need to follow the next step. The next step is, let's see the document here. Set secure Linux to permissive by editing etc set SELINUX config file, making sure the set SELINUX flag is set as the follow: set SELINUX equal permissive. So let's go to etc the config file to change the flag. Here we can see that if you have the Linux firewall enabled, you will need to disable to and configure it. As in here, to disable it, do the following. Okay, so first we need to change the flag for SELINUX as permissive. So we need to go by using the VI mode. Here we can see SELINUX enforcing, so it will be changed to permissive. So if I change this one to permissive, yeah, permissive. So after then we need to save this one and to exit it. So exit is completed. Here we can see the changes for SELINUX permissive. And now the another step we need to follow. Just go back to document. Actually we need to go document first. So setenforce permissive. If we do not if we do not want to stop our here, we need to follow the step setenforce permissive, and then we need to stop the firewall systemctl stop firewall, and then disable. So our step 9 is completed. Now we will follow the step 10 to create the grid infrastructure home directory. Enter the following commands as the root user. So here we will create some directory. To create the Oracle based directory, entering the following commands as the root user. So this root user actually Oracle user, and after then we need to create the Oracle Rdbms home directory. Enter the following commands as the root user. Okay, so here Oracle Rdbms home directory. So let's go to the creating the directory. Here is the hierarchy. We can follow this one in visual way. Under the U01 we need to create app, and inside the app folder we need to create Ora inventory, and then 19.3.1 and grid, and then Oracle. Inside 19.3 we need to create grid directory. This is the software directory, and under the Oracle we need to create CFG tools logs and product. Inside product we need to create 19.3.0 directory. Inside 19.3.0 directory we need to create another one, db_1. So this directory, this pattern is Oracle recommended, so we must have to follow this one to install very easy way. So first we create the Oracle grid directory. Now we are at putty, clearing the screen. Now this is the root user actually. So first we need to create inventory directory mkdir -v parent u01f ora inventory. Hitting on enter, we can see our ora inventory created successfully by the root user. Now we will assign the role for user create and oinstall role, primary role, and then the directory name u01f ora inventory. So our ownership changes to grid and oinstall. Now we will need to give the mode privilege, change mode privilege to 770 user, read write full privilege, and group primary group full privilege, and other group read and write. So if we execute this snippet, our mode change completed. Now we will follow the next step. Our next step is this step is completed successfully. Now we will follow grid software location. Software location means in this path we will unzip our software. So 19.3.0, inside the 19.3.0 we need to create grid directory. So let's go. I just clearing the screen here. The directory create for grid inside 19.3.0, and now we will change ownership grid oinstall for this directory. If I execute this snippet, or owner directory owner changed, and this is the mode. The same thing is for change mode. Okay, I just clearing the screen. Now we should follow the last section, base directory for grid. Here we need to create a new directory inside app folder. Here we can see app and then grid. So now we will create the grid inside app folder. So mkdir -v u01f grid. So our grid created successfully. Now we need to change the ownership. This is the ownership change. This is the mode change. So if we execute this, our owner and change mode completed. So now the last one is to create the Oracle based home directory into the following commands as the root directory. Root is okay. So this is the Oracle based home directory. So if I go here, the hierarchy, we need to create a home directory, Oracle directory, and inside the Oracle directory we need to create another directory, cfg tool logs. So we need to go first to execute this line, and then another one is cfg tools log. Okay, cfg tools log, and then product, and inside the product we need to create another folder. So I just want to copy this snippet. Here we can see the Oracle directory creation command. This is CFG tool logs and mode change. For Oracle. So we do not need to add a change owner for CFG tools log because this is under the Oracle folder. So here we just change owner and change mode command, and we should follow the next one is 12 to create the Oracle Rdbms home directory and the following commands as the root directory, root user. So we should execute these 3 lines. So if we copy these 3 lines to create the Oracle software and home directory creation and change owner and change mode. Now I just want to clear the screen. Okay. This is the Oracle software home directory based software directory actually. So our owner and mode change and directory creation completed successfully.